Hey, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Sean, aka Sean Knight 3000, and it's time for my weekly video, I guess, conversation. And I don't know what the hell to call these. I'm just gonna call them me talking to the camera and you looking at the videos later on. How about that? Anyway, I'm here at work. Nothing new about that, right? And just walking around doing my rounds and just wanted to, I got this idea. It hit me like, what are some of the strangest reasons that somebody has given you for not wanting to date you? And by that I mean, I'm not talking about somebody that you meet in a club or you met at work or some shit like that, oh no, we can't be together because of office politics or the rules that we can't be together instead of the other. I'm talking about you met somebody online. Everything went great online until you had that first face-to-face meeting. Or even it went great online and then something else popped off and it just ended with you two not hooking up. And for me, there's like 3 stories overall that fit that description. The first is, I met this girl in Detroit. We met online, of course. We met through Yahoo Chat. Now, I'm sure there's quite a few of you that are too young to remember Yahoo Chat, but back in the days, Yahoo Chat was the shits. I mean, they had a little competition from AOL and MSN, but primarily, if you wanted to go online and meet somebody for real, you probably went through Yahoo Chat. Because back then, whatever you were into, or wherever you were, like in the country or the world, you could go on Yahoo and you could go into a chat room that was kind of tailor-fitted for you. And by that I mean if you were in a location, California, New York, Los Angeles, or wherever you were, there was probably a chat room specifically for people in that general area. If you were into, interracial, or if you were into gay or lesbian or whatever you were into, somebody had created a chat room tailor-made for you. That was also one of the reasons why I think Yahoo beat out MSN and AOL. At least as far as, the chat rooms and things like that. And I was on Yahoo Chat, and I don't know if they still have Yahoo Chat. I don't know. I haven't been on Yahoo except as my search engine probably for 12, 13 years now. So I don't know whether or not Yahoo even still has the old chat rooms. Maybe they do. I don't know. But anyway, I met this girl in a chat room, interracial chat room, and she was in Detroit, and I'm here in Chicago, and we hit it off, We talked for a couple of hours, in fact, and I added her to my friends list. She added me to hers, and we would get online almost every day. I'm going to say almost every day, because there were certain days when I would work overtime, or she was, taking classes or whatever. We just couldn't, chat that day. But we got to the point where we'd exchange photographs. And even beyond that, we'd exchange phone numbers. And we would chat on the phone or online almost every day. So I liked her. She liked me. And one of the earlier questions that she had asked me was, how big was I? How tall was I? How much did I weigh? And I'm 5'7", which is about average. And back then, I'm gonna say I was about 140. I'm gonna say about 140. I mean, back then I was hitting the gym. And by that I don't mean like going to the physical gym. That's not something that I believe in. I mean, I understand people, join gyms for various reasons. You need that external motivation to get going, something like that. Me, I'd rather spend my money, instead of buying a gym membership, I just rather go to like a sporting goods store and buy the gym equipment. Put it in my house, work out whenever the hell I feel like it. I'm on the night shift, so I might get up, on my off days at 3 o'clock in the morning and work out. You can't do that if you're at a gym. Or shit, because it's in my house, I could work out butt ass naked. That was another option. Or shit, I could even get freaky. I could have sex on my, my treadmill. Or shit, I could eat spaghetti on my treadmill. Well, shit, I could combine the two. I could eat spaghetti while having sex on my treadmill because it's my treadmill in my house. So I'm not really big on gyms and gym memberships, but back then I was working out like a beast. I liked the way I looked. I liked, especially that summer. That summer came, and man, I loved the way I looked in my t-shirts. I'm gonna say I had between 5 and maybe 8% body fat all total, and I was about 140. I was cut the fuck up. I looked great that summer. But back on topic. Anyway, she asked me how tall I was, and I told her I was 5'7", about 140. And she told me that she was into basketball players. And I told her I wasn't a basketball player. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being 5'7" and being a basketball player, but that's very, very rare, So she knew I wasn't a basketball player. But we still talked almost every day. We still phoned each other. We exchanged pictures. So she knew what I looked like, at least here. She knew what I looked like as far as the body, but you can't really gauge how tall a person is from a photograph. At least, I don't think you can. I'm sure that's some sort of CSI kind of bullshit. You can do it, but you're not going to have that kind of software on just a regular ass house computer, But anyway, like I said, we talked, I'm going to say about 2.5, almost 3 full months before she finally decided she was going to come down and visit. And like I said, it was summertime, and I was looking good that summer, Got to give it to myself on that one. And she came down with about 3 of her girlfriends, and they drove down, which is like only about 5.5. Depends on how fast you drive, Not trying to get myself a speeding ticket or anything like that if I'm making a trip from Chicago to Detroit, but normally that shit is going to take about 5.5 hours. I can do that shit in like 4. I got a pretty heavy foot. But she drove down, and we met, and she was as cute as her photographs. And I got my hug on, and my mom, may she rest in peace, was 5 feet tall. And this chick was, I'm gonna say, a couple inches shorter than my mom. I'm 5'7", and I could literally see the top of her head when we hugged. But after all those months of talking, me telling her that I was 5'7", she comes back at me and tells me that I'm not tall enough for her. That she likes guys who are 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". She likes basketball players. Now, in all our conversations, I had told her point blank how tall I was. I had sent photographs. I told her I played baseball and a little bit of basketball, not a little bit of football, not basketball. I mean, I could, go out on the court with my boys and stuff like that, we shoot some b-ball. But as far as playing a sport, baseball was my thing, and I played a little bit of football. But I never tried out for a basketball team because even though I loved watching it, it was not a sport that I could, that I was real comfortable playing because I wasn't one of the biggest cats on the block. I wasn't, going to go out there and just, box somebody out and I could skyhook my way to 30 points, And she knew this. But when we meet in person, after all this conversation, after exchanging photographs, after talking on the phone, she then hits me back that I was too short for her. And I'm like, at the time, when she first told me this, I wasn't even angry. I was more confused. Like, I told you from the beginning that I was 5'7" and 140. And you continue to talk to me anyway. So when you meet me in person, and before you start thinking, she saw your face and she was like, oh my God, we had exchanged photographs. And besides, I'm a good looking motherfucker. Come on now. I was even better looking then. Although I think I'm aging pretty damn well, so I think I'm still pretty damn good looking. But in my 30s, late 20s, early 30s, I was quite the motherfucker. But I was confused. Like, why would you know? You knew I was 5'7". You knew I wasn't 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". You liked me enough that we talked every day. You liked me enough that you drove all the way from Detroit, Michigan to Chicago, Illinois to meet me. But then when you meet me, you're disappointed by the fact that I'm not 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". And I was too actually confused to even be angry about that shit for a couple of days. Then, of course, I got pissed off. Because I was thinking, what a fucking waste of my time that was. I mean, we talked almost every day, like I said, for about 2.5 to 3 months. I could have been talking to somebody else in that time. She could have been talking to somebody else in that time. Why waste my time when you knew you liked tall guys and I was only 5'7"? Not that 5'7" is short. 5'7" is about average. I run into people that are shorter than me, guys that are shorter than me, guys that are taller than me every day. But she liked tall guys. Why she stayed with me all that time and chatting, I don't know. Then you come all the way here knowing that I'm 5'7" and you're disappointed. So yeah, after a couple of days of thinking about that shit, then I got really pissed off. A second story that I have, once again, I met this chick in Yahoo chat. This time she was a black chick. We met. We were talking, and first of all, she sent me that sex location, that ASL with a question mark shit. For those of you that are familiar with Yahoo and the old chats, it didn't matter if you had a damn profile. It didn't matter if you had pics on your profile. Motherfuckers would just bogart you with sex location question mark because they were too damn lazy or just too damn thirsty to look at your profile. I mean, what was the point of even creating a profile if you had to answer all those questions in the first place? Because your profile had everything. Your age, your sex, your location, there was pics. And yet people will still bogart the hell out of you with that sex location question mark shit. And so she hit me up and I answered back. But I was smart enough to look at her damn profile. And like I said, she was a sister. Pretty as fuck, you know? She's right here in Chicago. So I'm thinking, hey, you know, all right, cool. I don't have to drive anywhere to see you. I have to drive out of town for us to get together. So we talked and laughed and joked, and it was about half hour later. She was like, is there a picture of you? I'm like, yeah, there's pictures on my profile. So she went to my profile, and like I say, that was the time that I was working out like a motherfucker. So I was in really, really great shape. So she hits me back, oh no, this can't work. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? You know, I'm thinking like, damn, what the hell did you see that I didn't see? And so she's like, oh no, this is not gonna work. You're not, you know, you're too skinny for me. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, no, I want me a grizzly bear. No. She said, I want me a gorilla. That's what she said. I want me a gorilla. And I remember laughing. Like, what the fuck? You know, what are you talking about? You want a gorilla? She's like, I want a man who's 250, 260. And I'm like, damn. But looking at her pics, I mean, she described herself as thick, which back in the old days, a lot of women did. She was a couple of cheeseburgers north of thick. So maybe having a big husky guy was something that she felt comfortable with. I don't know. Anyway, I've been talking for a damn near 15 minutes and can't really go over 15 minutes on Yahoo. At least not without giving them your cell phone number. So I'm going to end this here, post this up, see what you guys got to say. What were some of the strangest fucking reasons people gave you after meeting you and talking to you and liking you for not wanting to date you? Hit me back if you get a chance, or just enjoy the video. I'm out. Peace.